البطأ بسيارته وما رح يرحمها أبداً.
So this is exactly what our drivers are going to have to be doing this evening. They have to perform this extremely difficult slalom first off. And there's an awful lot of power and precision involved in order to make sure you can put yourself in the right position to head back down to the top corner of the track. Whilst it looks fairly simple, the speed that this car is approaching us is terrifying. So this is a new part of the track. Drifting into the top corner, they now need to put themselves in between the cones at the top and go around them, and then maneuver back around the outside in order to perform an extremely long drift at the end. And that's exactly how it should be done. Clipping the ball.
Clipping point.
Round to the top, got to park himself into the box in between the two cones that are there. Round the box. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Abdu Fagari!
And now he goes into the spinning.
That's a new part. I didn't see that part. I thought.
I experienced it. That's how I know.
Wow. Is that as terrifying as it looks?
Yes, it is. تحية للبطل عبدو فغالي بهالأداء الرائع على الفورد ماستانج.
Abdu Fagari, the designer of the track, showing you exactly how it should be done. So now we are ready to begin. Oman, are you ready?
All those drifters, they worked very hard off-season on their cars in order to come now and compete. Ali is one of the first ones, and he was
in Oman, and actually
there he goes.
You can see the amount of time he spends on this car. The look, the smoke, the noise, they are all counting towards his score. Positioned himself at the top of the track, needs to get himself back through the slalom, right up to the top corner of the track. Then a major amount of power to get himself down to the bottom as the smoke comes out. Puts himself into the right point for the slalom at the top of the track. What he now needs to do, get himself between the cones, spin the car around, and he'll pull off an impressive drift as he comes back down underneath the JCBs, clipping the ball on the stand as he goes by. Let's see if he can do it. There goes the drift. There's the clip. Heading right to the top, needs to put himself in the center of that box. Back out of the box into the center of the cones. I tell you what, Oman, from where I was sat, that was a near perfect round. Make some noise, driver number one.
علي البلوشي بيستاهل كل تسقيفكم وكل حماسكم لهالبطل الموعودين في الليلة، البطل العماني على النيسان. تحية لك يا علي على هالأداء الرائع.
An amazing first round. Give him some noise as he goes past you tonight. Well done, Ali.
علي تحكم كتير منيح بسيارته. يعني هو
needs to put himself right at the top corner in order to perform the slalom nice and cleanly on the way down.
الخبرة الليلة عندها كتير أهمية حتى الواحد يتعلم من أغلاطه، وأكيد كل الدرايفرز نحن لنا هن لايف. وهلا انتقل محمد الصوافي.
Heads himself into the first slalom point. Right now it's so important that he positions himself at the exact points as he goes through the flags right to the very end. Past the drift flag, heading himself back down to the top corner. This is where the power comes in. This is where the noise and the smoke really show the performance of these cars. That was loud. Underneath the JCBs, drifting up to the top corner. heading through the cones, needs to put himself right at the exact position in order to pull off a drift and clip that ball as he comes through the JCBs. Will he be able to do it? There's the drift, heading down to the bottom corner. So just so you actually know that one of the most important parts of this track is the red ball that is hanging there. That actually counts for 15% of their final score. So by missing the ball, you could almost... Out into the track he goes. What an impressive looking car. That is actually a great start to a run.
That was a very nice car yesterday. We loved the design.
It was one of our favorite yesterday, yes, to be honest with you. Heading around the top flag, loving the lights on the front of the car. Remember, there is 3 or 4 key stages to this track. This is actually one of them that he's approaching now. Got to put himself right in the right position. Heading down the track. Look at the smoke coming off that car as it heads down to the bottom apex. Looking to get in between the cones. Hit that red ball on the way back down. That is 15% of his final score. So let's see if he puts himself in the right position. Heading down, the drift is on. Will he hit the ball? There it is. I took out everything else with it. However, that's a penalty though because he destroyed the...
He just took all the...
Into the box.
اكيد الحماس الزايد عند رفعت هو اللي خلاه هيك يعمل هيك اداء مع الكليبينج بوينت.
So you kind of got the idea there. He managed to clip the red ball, but gets a penalty because he hit the barrier at the same time. But either way, Oman, that was a great round. Make some noise for driver number 3.
الكليبينج بوينت منطقة كتير حساسة مثل ما شايفين نظبط التراك كله.
Another impressive start, though the actual every round we're seeing so far is better than the one before. The drivers are at the top of their game for you this evening. He's heading down to the final flag. Got to put himself right in the corner in order to pull off the drift here.
It's always here because we're close to the judge panel. Impress the judges.
Right, he needs to put himself right into the middle of the cones at the top, pull off the apex, and get himself. He's just missed the cones at the top. That'll be a penalty as he heads down through, back around. He needs to pop himself on the top of the apex. Remember, he needs to clip the red ball. So as he goes into the drift, that's an impressive drift. Is he going to get the ball? There it is. That's how it's done. That's what we've come out to see tonight. Heading himself down to one of the hardest sections of the track. It's the box. If you don't get in between the cones, the maneuver becomes almost impossible. An impressive 360 drift in the box. Heading out to the final stage, which is the cones. There it is, Oman. Make some noise for driver number 4.
تحية لطارق الشيهاني على
Isn't a Nissan. This is actually one of the original muscle cars. It's the Dodge Charger.
وهيدا محمد الهنائي اللي هلا عم تشوفوه قدامكم طلع على التراك بالدوج تشارجر.
One of the noisiest cars we've had on the track, second only to the Ford Mustang, I think. As it heads down to the bottom, pops himself on the curve, needs to get himself back through the slalom. Into the drift he goes. Remember, he needs to pop himself right at the very top in order to get in between the cones. Pull a 180 out of the cones and hit the apex to pull the drift off, and he needs to clip the red ball as it comes down. Will he clip the ball? He's into the drift there. Just missed it.
كمان
Just missed it.
محمد الهنائي كمان ما قدر. He missed the clipping point. لسوء الحظ.
Popping himself into the box. Remember how hard this maneuver is. That's actually a very big car to try and do that maneuver with. But he did it. Into the cones. This is the part that Karen was terrified of earlier on. Pulling off the 360 around the cones without touching the cones.
You really spin in there, Darren. You really spin.
I can imagine the G-forces are quite mental in that. Oman makes some noise in the Dodge Charger. It's driver number 5.
محمد الهنائي على الدوج. تحية لها. وهلا good luck لناصر.
It's one of our best.
ناصر السيابي. صح, ناصر السيابي.
One of the best looking cars we've had out so far tonight. I do like this one.
Cars yesterday, it really attracted our attention. It's a beautiful car.
Top of the corner, he's heading back down through the slalom right now. Let's see how much noise he makes for the judges as he goes past. Wow. So remember, it's super important. He puts himself right in the middle of those cones at the top of the track in order to pull off the drift and even stand a chance of clipping the red ball as he comes back down. 15% of the votes, sorry, 15% of his points.
يلا يا ناصر على clipping point.
There's the drift.
جبهولها كثير منيح إذا راح يدق فيها.
Oh!
كمينا he missed it.
Just missed it.
Let me go try you and me.
I think we could do it. I honestly do. Not in a car, but I think we could do it. Pops himself into the box, just misses the entrance. In he goes, 360.
معلش نحن بنتفهم كل الدريفترز لانه الادرينالين بيكون كثير عالي وكمان في ضغط عليهم كثير قوي خاصه انهم كلهم ابطال.
Heading down to the bottom end of the track, needs to put himself into the middle of there. Think he just missed the entrance. He's got to try and pull the maneuver off anyway. There he goes. Oman, put your hands together, show your support for driver number 6.
تحية لناصر السيابي على النيسان لوريل. حيوه من عندكم بطل من ابطال عمان موعودين فيه انه يمثل عمان.
Got to put himself right in the middle of those cones. Quick 180 out of the top and get into the drift. There's the drift. Will he clip the ball? Oh, just missed it.
غريب, but it's very strange that all the drifters are missing the ball. Maybe because they haven't practiced it yesterday.
I'm guessing. Did they get a practice run at this? So this is the first time they're doing it. Wow. So what you're seeing as they go around the track tonight, guys, is the first time they're actually doing this track.
امبارح كل الدريفترز نقيناهم او تنقوا من اصل 28 16 تنقوا على الدريفتنج سكيلز بس, يعني كل اللي عم بتشوفوه هلا عم بيعملوه اول مره على التراك. كليبينج بوينت ما كان موجود امبارح, البوكس بس كانت موجوده.
Oman makes some noise. Driver number 7.
تحية لبطل من ابطالنا الليله عبد الله.
I got a feeling it's going to be another noisy run. Heads down to the final, to the bottom of the slalom. Pops his nose of the car into the flag, spins it round. Perfect maneuver there. Heads down the straight alongside the judges. The smoke is pouring out of that car.
يعني يلي عم بيقدر يقشع بعد شيء أنا بهنيه.
Remember, he needs to pop himself right at the top of the apex in order to stand a chance of being in the right position when he pulls off the drift to clip the red ball. So he's into the drift. Round he goes, the smoke is flying. Just misses the ball.
Again.
Perfect maneuver to come out of the drift at the end. Pops himself right into the center of the box, looking for a 360 without touching any of the panels. Get himself out of there if you can still see where he's going. It sounds like a machine gun on the track, doesn't it? Oman, make some noise and show your support for driver number 8.
تحية لعلي الشيهاني. صحيح علي ما قدر دق بالكليبينج بوينت ولا قدر لمسها، بس الأداء كان رائع. مثل ما شايفين الدخنة، السموكينج تايرز، البانج بانج، صوت الموتور، كل شيء كان رائع جدا. حتى خلينا نشوف شو الجاد بانلز راح يحطوا له او يحطوا له علامات، ان شاء الله يكونوا سوفت عليك. معنا
into the slalom and a lot of power there. He needs to get himself, get the nose right into the end flag. There it is. Gonna pull off an impressive slalom. Heads down the straight past the judges. Flames pouring out the exhaust into the fast straight. Remember, he needs to pop himself right at the corner of the apex. The position that he comes out of these cones is imperative, or else he can't get the drift and he'll be in the wrong position to clip the red ball. Will he do it?
يلا يا عامر، كليبينج بوينت. ايوه عامر، رائعة.
So just to give you an idea of what they need to do is they come out of the apex at the top. They need to be sideways. It needs to be a continuous drift from the top corner as they enter the apex all the way down. They need to clip the red ball and continue drifting until the end in order to get.
لسوء الحظ مثل ما شايفين عامر الحبسي is disqualified. عم بيظهر من التراك، اكيد صار شيء معه.
This just goes to show you how much, how dangerous this sport actually is. Within a few seconds of coming out of the drift, a fire took place underneath the car.
Everything is expected on track. مثل ما شايفين كل شيء معقول يصير، كل شيء محتمل يصير على التراك مع السائقين، خاصة انه السيارة بتكون كتير حامية. حاله حتفوت على التراك. عبد الله المعمري، تحية لعبد الله.
Heading into the first slalom point, needs to pop himself right into the middle of these flags, get his nose on the end of the last flag. There it is, pull off the 180, head back down through the slalom. And let's see what noise he's going to make for Abdo and the judges this evening. As it comes down like... Will you look at the smoke coming off that car? Remember, he needs to pop himself right in the middle of the apex at the top, head down between the cones and do one continuous drift all the way down the track, clip the red ball and continue drifting afterwards. Let's see if he can do it. He's got to get into the drift.
خاصة من بعد الكليبينج بوينت هون.
He's still sideways. He clipped the ball. That looked to me okay. The judges are smiling. Well done, driver number 10. One of the few to pull off that maneuver tonight. Pop himself into the middle of the box. He's picked up one of the cones, so that's going to be a fairly big penalty for him on there. Just a quick lost and found announcement. If you drive a Mercedes and you've lost your key, I have it. If you don't claim it, I now own a Mercedes.
Depends which Mercedes. You have to take a look at it. تحية كثير كبيرة لعبد الله المعمري اللي عمل أداء رائع.
Well done.
ومبين الشيباني بينطلق بسيارته.
That is an amazing amount of smoke. That's an impressive noise as well this far in the contest. Every driver is upping their game. Got to get the nose into the center of that flag to get himself round. There he does it. Very easy. He's making it look very easy anyway.
Let's see what this Toyota is going to do when it reaches here.
Let's get the noise and the smoke for the judges. That is an impressive amount of smoke. Right, he heads down the long straight now, remember. Needs to land himself in exactly the right place in order to pull off one continuous drift and clip that red ball on the way down. Let's see where he pops himself on the top of the track. There's the drift. Sideways into the ball. Oh, just missed it. Into the box, pulling off a near perfect 360 for you there. Got to head himself out of the box. Into the ring of cones at the end. Oman, a pretty impressive run, just short of clipping. Make some noise, driver number 11.
تحية مثل ما شايفة جمهوره كتير قوي لسامي الشيباني. تحية لك يا سامي. هيا صولك.
Listen to the Mustang roar. Look at it. Whilst I'm not one of the judges, I think that was quite an impressive start. Needs to head himself to the final flag, get the nose right into the flag as Abdu did earlier. Pretty much identical, to be honest with you. Head through the slalom. What's he got to do for the judges? Got the speed as he comes to the bomb. Now remember, he needs to be in the middle of the cones at the end in order to stand a good chance of reaching the clipping point as he comes out. Good positioning, needs to pop out of the apex. Looks to be an issue. Is he going to be able to carry on?
Unfortunately بفتكر صار شيء معه للمستانج. حيوه من عندكم.
Okay, I think that's Abdul. In the first of our performance cars, Nissan Z350.
وانطلق فهمي البوسعيدي على النيسان Z350.
This
Good luck.
is one of my most favorite cars. I love them as street racing cars. They're brilliant. Pops himself right in the corner, perfect. Head yourself down the slalom. How's it going to sound to the judges? Screeching of tires as he comes past. Now remember, this has been a point which has phased most of our drivers tonight. Needs to get into the cones, just misses the first cones. Going round for another attempt. It's going to cost him some penalty points there though. Needs to be in the center as he comes back out. Got to put himself into a long drift. There's the drift. He's got to remain sideways all the way down. Clipped the ball, but he wasn't, well, he destroyed the rest of the track at the same time, but he wasn't going sideways as he came down. Got to pop himself into the corner.
بركي هيدا الحماس الزيادة عن اللزوم عم بيخلي الدرفتر شوي يضيعوا أو ما يسيطروا على السيارة كتير. شو صار كمان disqualified لفهمي البوسعيدي على النيسان Z350.
Right, this is history in the making on the next driver. 100 drifters qualified for the actual whole event. 28 of them drove. Al-Sanani. Super aggressive driving from our female drifter there. She's got to pop herself into the center of the final flag in order to spin the car right round, and she does it with perfection. Heading herself down the slalom once again. Coming down past the judges. Nothing but squeals and smoke as she heads down to the first straight. Remember, it's so important she puts herself in between the center cones and exits at the right point to get herself into the drift. I can hear the judges going mad behind me. Everyone is behind you, Lena. Into the drift she goes. Just misses the clipping point. Brilliant J-turn. Well done, Lena. She heads herself round now to the final straight of the track. Heads down to the box. Got to put herself right in the middle of the box. Into the circle of cones she goes. Got to pull off the 360. And there it is, Oman, your first female drifter. Please make some noise. Driver number 14, Lena Al-Senani.
رائع، أداء رائع وثقة بالنفس رائعة لليلى السناني. بتستاهل كل حماسكم وتلتمة.
Not quite the same Nissan Altima as you see at Lulu or a Car 4 on the weekend, but it's a heavily souped up saloon car. Pops himself in the position, just misses the corner flag. That's going to be a penalty point. The slalom is so difficult. There's so much power and your car becomes extremely hard to control on the corners. Heading down past the judges. Some amazing noise. I'm guessing destroying half the track will be a penalty point. Needs to pop himself back in there. Is he going to try and complete the track? Yeah, he's going to try. Every time he misses one of those, it's a penalty point for him this evening. Got to take himself round. He needs to pop himself into a super long drift at the top of the track. Pull the car round. Needs to be in a drift. No, I think he's... Okay, Majid into the box. Oman, show your support. It wasn't a great round for him, but some amazing driving there. Show your support for driver number 15.
تحية لك يا ماجد الهاشمي. نحن hard luck لك.
It just goes to show how hot.
وليد الرقادي.
The great thing is in the next round you are going to see some seriously high power drifting because they're all going to try and improve on their first round. Got to pop the Z370 into the corner of the flag. He does it with ease. Heads himself down to the first corner. Powers past the judges, screeching as he goes past. Into the first straight. You can hear the punishment that engine's going through right now.
طبعا بتكون الاعصاب مشنجه كرمال هيك اوقات السائق بيضيع السيطره على سيارته. بس الهيئه وليد الرقادي is doing well so far.
Into the drift he goes. He's got to be going sideways. Misses the clipping point. Oh. Abdo, that was a mean part of the track. Into the box he goes. Got to pull off the 360, exit the box without touching any of the props on the road. Look at the smoke coming off that. Into the final section of the track. Into the cones he goes. Oman, you need to put your hands together. He's our final drifter tonight before we go into round number 2. Please show your appreciation for driver number 16.
تحية لوليد الرقادي آخر درايفر درفتر بهالمجموعة، مجموعة 16 اللي من وراها رح ننقي 8 رح يتأهلوا حتى نرجع نعرف مين هن الأربعة الآخرانيات.
Okay, so what's going to happen now is for the people that are watching online, you're going to see not a great deal.
عبد الله البلوشي وهو هني. هارد لك للباقيين، كنا حابين عن جد ليلى تكون موجودة معنا بس نحن بنشوف حالنا فيها وعمان بيشوف حاله كمان بليلى وميبي نيكست يير كمان بتشتغل على سيارتها أكثر وكمان بنقدر. Position number 8 car number 7 عبد الله البلوشي.
Got to get himself right into the apex at the corner. Needs to get the nose into the flag. Heading down to the slalom. Remember, they need to do a much more impressive round. Heading past the judges. Smoke and squealing tires. Welcome back to all our viewers at home on redbull.com. CPD Live, Oman. Needs to pop himself into the continuous drift as he comes down. There's the drift, an impressive drift. Will he clip? There's the clip.
ما بنعرف شو بيصير بهيك وضع انه الطابة الحمراء طارت بس صحيح عملها كليب بس ما موجودة.
Nothing but smoke and screeching tires as they come all the way down into the box. Gonna position himself right at the corner. Into the cones he goes. Driver number 7, Oman, show your support. Abdullah al-Blushi.
تحية لعبد الله البلوشي يلي مبين انه عمل اداء رائع لحتى يكون بين الثمانية اللي قدروا يوصلوا على الهيت 2.
Well done, Abdullah.
ومبين انه جمهوره كثير عم بيحييه وجمهوره لعبد الله.
Can we get the safety marshals to the car? So the ambulance having to go drifting now, is it? As you know, guys, safety is of the utmost importance here. The driver is out of the car nice and safe. Give him a big round of applause. Rolling himself into the first flag. Noise and smoke as he hammers down into the slalom. Heading himself around the final flag. He's got to put himself right at the corner of the second flag in order to land himself into the middle of the slalom. Remember, the pressure is on. We only got 4 places.
With all the smoke on us.
Whoa! As he comes down. Impressive drift. Heading himself down the final foot. There he goes. Remember, he needs to put himself right in the middle of those cones.
أيوة مع fireworks لإلك يا رفعت.
Heading down into the big drift he goes. There's the drift. Will he clip? There it is! Almost a perfect procedure. Abdo is smiling. I'm guessing he's happy with that result. Looking down now, he's got to get himself into the middle of the box, which he does with ease. Here comes the 360. Rifat looking impressive into the final maneuver into the cones at the far side. Round he goes. Oman, give it up then. Driver number, car number 3.
تحية لرفعت اليحيائي، جمهوره عم بيهيص له كتير. سيطرة تامة، أداء كتير حلو. وهلا ناطرين تحكيم لجنة الحكم، تحكيمهم شو معقول يكون. انطلق عبد الله المعمري.
Pops himself around the first flag for the slalom. Heads himself down the track. Got to get his nose right in. So the flag just missed the perfect slalom, but however, he's heading himself back down. Look at the performance of this car. As he hammers past the judges, the noise and the smoke as it comes past. Wow. All right, he's heading down the first straight. Remember how important it is to get right in the center of those cones. Exactly as Abdo showed you earlier. Got to get himself into a long, continuous drift right now. There's the drift. Will he catch the clipping point? Just missed the clipping point. Oh, there's going to be a few penalty points there. However, still all to play for. Heads down. Get himself into the center of the box.
بفتكر على الحماس الزايد الدريفترز عم بيضيعوا السيطرة على السيارة مثل ما هلا صار مع عبد الله المعمري. بس عبد الله مكمل.
Oman, you need to make lots and lots and lots of noise. Driver number 10.
تحية لعبد الله المعمري اللي هلا خلص تراك ومارق من حدكم وعم بيعطيكم بانج بانج على طريقة اللي انتم بتحبوها.
There is some major noise coming off this car tonight. Well done, Abdullah. Well done.
محمد الصوافي.
Look at the entrance of this car. Amazing. Hits the slalom point perfectly. He's going in and out of the first three flags. The sheer power of the SX240 for you there. It's an amazing performance car. Heading back down the slalom, needs to hit himself right in the corner of the final flag to pull off an impressive little drift for the judges. There he goes, squealing and braking as he goes past. Looking to put himself right in the middle of the two sets of cones at the top of the track. Got to get himself right on the outside point. Will we get the drift? Heads around the corner. There's the drift. Will he make the clipping point? Will he clip the ball? There it is!
هيدي clipping point حلوة.
Wow! The speed that he pulled off that maneuver now needs to get himself right in the middle of that box. Give us the 360 in the box. There's the 360. Heads into the circle of cones at the end. And there it is, Oman. Driver, position number 6 in car number 10. Please make some noise.
تحية كبيرة عم نسمعها منكم هلا وبيستاهل كل زقفة وكل تحية محمد الصوافي على سيارته يلي أبدع فيها نيسان SX240. Good luck لك.
Straight out of the box he goes, round the first flag. That's how you drift around a slalom. Look at the smoke coming off these sides. Needs to get his nose right at the center of the last flag in order to get the 180 round. There it is. An impressive amount of power around the slalom for you this evening. Coming down to the top corner, straight past Judges Row right now. You know, I'd love to tell you what he's doing, but I can't see him anymore. Right, he put himself in the center of the cones. Very good positioning there. Got to get himself onto the apex at the top. Remember, he needs to drift all the way down. Has to be sideways when he hits the clipping point. Just missing the clipping point, but an amazing drift as he heads towards the bottom. into the box. Almost near perfect positioning. I cannot breathe. Putting a 360 around the box. You can see the flames coming out of the exhaust there. Needs to get himself down to the circle of cones. There you go. Near perfect round. Position number 4, car number 8, Oman, make some noise!
علي الشيهاني كأنه ولا غلطة ناطرين أكيد الحكام هن يعطوا آرائهم ونقاطهم وما بعرف كيف الجمهور بعده عم بيقشع بس بعرف إنه هيدا هو المطلوب أنتم جايين حتى تشوفوا دخنة وأنجا تقدروا تقشعوا السيارة هيدا هو أداء علي الشيهاني اللي موعودين فيه يوصل على التوب.
Here he comes, car number 4.
طارق الشيهاني.
What an amazing start. Listen, get into that slalom. Look at him go down there. The smoke pouring off the tires. Needs to get the nose into the flag. Does it with ease. Look at the power in the slalom. It is amazing. Coming down, judges straight. Nothing but noise. And searing smoke. Arms raised in the air, and it's a lot of approval there from our judges, I think. Needs to get himself between the cones to pull off the drift in order to even stand a chance of getting to the clipping point. Look at the smoke, look at the drift we've got here. Will he get the clipping point? Just missed the clipping point, but what a drift as he comes down the top end. Reaching the box now. Gets himself smack into the middle of the box, giving us the 360. The precision that's needed to do that is quite amazing. A near perfect lap for you. Out of the box into the final stack. Oman, you need to put your hands together and make a lot of noise. Car number 4 and position number 3.
فازا أداء رائع لطارق الشيهاني بوزيشن نمبر 3 كار نمبر 4 عيشكم تجربة القوة والسرعة فريدة من نوعها هو كان بوزيشن نمبر 3 بعد عنا 2 دريفترز 2 كار نمبر 11 سامي الشيباني سامي on his Toyota Supra.
Gets the nose into the first flag at the end. He's got to get himself into the slalom. Coming around the end of the slalom. Down judges corridor. Smoke and screaming tires as he comes down to the bottom. The first straight. Sideways into the first straight, but the first straight nevertheless.
سامي ضيع السيطرة شوي على السيارة أو صار معه لا شيء بالسيارة مثل ما عم نحس.
Disqualified for that, yeah?
عم نسمع عبد الفخاني عم بيقول disqualified وهو أكيد انسحب.
Give him a nice big round.
Too bad for Sammy. He was car number 2. But
being in position number 1, he was the highest scoring in the last round. The noise does count for scoring, so does the smoke. Remember, he needs to get himself in between the cones at the top of the track.
يلا علي إذا عم تسمعني موعودين فيك نحن بعمان.
One long continuous drift from the top. Here it comes. There's the drift. He needs to clip the ball on the way through.
Yes,
there's the clip. Drifting out to the bottom, looking for approval. Abdo is actually smiling at that one. Needs to plant the nose in the front of the box. Give us 2 360s. There it is. Heads out of the box to the final circle of cones. Which he does with ease. Oman makes some noise. Driver number 1 in car number 1.
علي البلوشي أداء رائع. بدي أذكركم إنه علي طلع الثاني السنة الماضية بالريجنال فاينلز اللي تمت بدبي. وعلي نزل من سيارته قد ما لانه واثق من حاله منيح. كأنه عم يحتفل من هلا علي. لعلوع على الساحة.
I guess. Wow, that's harsh. Our judges are mean tonight, aren't they? Wow. Let's hope that Ali can get that car moving again inside the next 10 or 15 minutes if he gets a place.
فإذا علي معه 10 ل 15 دقيقة بس حتى يرجع يجهز سيارته في حالة تأهل للفاينل فور. سيارته كار نمبر.
This is his final round. He needs to impress our judges tonight. So there he is around the first flag into the slalom, coming down to the top corner. Down past judges Ali, the smoke and the tyres and the speed of that now. It is super important. If you remember in his last round, he didn't make the clipping point. Let's see if he does it this time. He's got to get himself into the center of those cones. And his exit point is so important. We need one long continuous drift from the top corner all the way down and clip the wall as it goes past. There's the drift. Will we get the clipping point? There's the clipping point.
Yes, صارت المنافسة كتير قوية هلا.
Abdullah al-Blushi, he heads himself down to the box. Needs to land himself right in the middle. Perfect maneuver, 2 360s without touching anything in the box. Near perfect maneuver, out of the box he goes, the final stage of his lap. This has been a pretty much perfect lap. I wouldn't want to be one of the judges tonight. Oman, give it up, make some noise. Car number 7, position number 4.
تحية لعبد الله البلوشي كار نمبر 7 بالمرتبة الرابعة يلي أنهى هالتراك بكل ثقة وسيطرة تامة على السيارة بس كمان شايفينها ولعانة من تحت.
Okay, can we get the safety team to the car please? Can we get the safety marshals to the car please? You've got to remember these cars are so souped up, they get maybe a minute, 2 minutes of performance time on the track, and then it becomes...
بدي أذكركم بأسامي لجنة الحكم اللي موجودين معنا الليلة واللي هن من الجمعية العمانية للسيارات OAA. تحية لسعود الرواحي، خالد المنجي، سيف الرواحي وكمان كريس هودجسون. Those are our judges.
Don't know at the moment. This is car number 3.
And this is رفعت اليحيائي now, position number 2.
An impressive amount of smoke and a lot of noise as he heads out into the slalom. Pops his nose at the end of the final flag. Needs to get back in the slalom and head towards the corner. Then power down to head past judges Ali. Look at the smoke, the noise. Down the first straight. Remember, it is so important that they do not make any mistakes on this. One of the 3 cars that you've seen tonight will be representing Oman in the regional final. Into the apex. There's the drift. Will he reach the clipping point? There it is! Perfect maneuver. Absolutely perfect maneuver. Power down as he heads into the box. Got to land right in the center. Give us 2 360s. I can hear the judges cheering behind me. Into the cones on the final maneuver. This could be a perfect round for Rifat. This could be. That is it, Oman. Make some noise. Position number 2, car number 3.
هيدا كان أداء رائع وحيوه هلا حيوه لرفعت اليحيائي بالبوزيشن نمبر 2 كار نمبر 3 من الواعدين حالهم.
Brilliant start to the track. Heading down to the final flag. Slalom back to the corner. You can hear the aggression he's driving with tonight. Onto the straight, past judges, Ali. What a drift! That's what we've come to see tonight.
That was too much.
Remember, he needs to pop himself right in the middle of those cones, exit at exactly the right point in order to pull off the drift. There's the drift. Will he reach the clipping point? There it is! The crowd are on their feet. Flames are coming out the back of the car. Into the box.
At this point, Ali doesn't care. He really doesn't care. And we really want them to end this trip in a perfect way.
Into the final maneuver. This will be an almost perfect round. Look at that. Oman, give it up, make some noise. It's car number one, driver number one.
علي البلوشي. ما بقى مبين علي أبدا أبدا.
Can no longer see him. You know he is smiling in that car. You know, don't you?
وهيك بيولع الجمهور هلا. تحية من علي البلوشي.
There he is.
يلي حاسس
winner of the Red Bull Car Park Drift 2015.
The winner is
Ali
البلوشي. بدنا نطلب هيصة كتير من هني عمان بطلة تاني. نطلب من راعي المناسبة بالسمو بن برغش آل سعود الموقر أهديته لعلي، وطبعا هدية من ماكس العلوم. علي البلوشي ورفعت اليحيائي هن رح يمثلوا عمان الفاينلز اللي رح تصير.
So if you're watching this online at Red.com, you're looking at the three biggest drifters in the Sultanate of Oman. Representing are the top two, but the winner tonight is Ali al-Blushi.
Ali al-Blushi and Rifat Yahya'i will be representing Oman in the regional finals that will take place in Dubai.